we had some damn good games this weekend. And you know what? Somebody had to win and others had to lose. And I'm sure y'all trying to figure out, like, Coach, what you get ready to do? I got to talk about it. I got to talk about it. I got to talk about it because it's some things that just burn. It's burning deep down in there. It's burning like, what in the world are we doing, fellas? I mean, I get it. You know, we had some fantastic competition this weekend. It was the teams that, you know, got upset. I wasn't expecting to get upset. And, man, I saw one squad put a butt whooping on somebody this weekend. I mean, it was straight belt, you know the word. But we're going to go ahead and get on in this thing because I know you're like, Coach, come on, give me what you're talking about. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and get straight on this thing because I know you're like, all right, man, enough is enough. So we're going to get into it right after this. Coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap in and free to tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes. We just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get on this thing because I know you're like, Coach, what you got going on with yourself? Listen, I got to hit this first topic first because when I saw this earlier today, I could not believe exactly what was going down. And the FAMU versus Mississippi Valley State game, I guess there's going to be some change. There's some change as far as location. So I'm waiting to find out what's going on with that because I was actually trying to get some credentials to go down there and check that game out and cover that game live in the flesh. So I can go down there and, you know, mingle with some folks and, you know, just rub elbows with some people. And I guess that ain't getting ready to happen. So we're going to find out exactly how that's all going to go. But yeah, we got to make sure, you know, things are on point when we get to naming stuff because some folks have naming rights to things and it's, you know, it's a little hooky out there. But hope to find out, you know, quickly where they're going to have this game at, if they're going to have it back at Itabena or what exactly is going to go down. So we'll find out exactly how it's going to go in the coming days. But speaking of Mississippi Valley State, them jokers there, they try to come out there and shock some folks this weekend because Valley was like, listen, y'all ain't gonna keep talking about us like we ain't got nothing going on up in this boy, where we can't come out here and compete in a game and get some things shaking and baking. Because, boy, I'm gonna tell you right now, Texas Southern, woo. Hey, y'all about to go ahead and find out what Coach Buck had really going on over there. But, you know, like I said, they came up a little short this game. I kind of hated for them. They definitely, you know, went out there. They played their hearts out as far as we're trying to get that first win of the season. Things just didn't fall in the direction that they expected them to. But all in all, got to say that they definitely fought 4 quarters in this game. Now, I'll say this. Mississippi Valley State was ahead in this game. I mean, let's keep it a buck here. They was up for the most part of this game, and somehow or another it slipped through their hands. I mean, you get in that fourth quarter, and all of a sudden everything shut down. You got to continue to keep scoring. I mean, they had opportunities to score, but you know, when you're not able to move that ball, you're not able to get things going the way that they need to go. I mean, this is what normally happens. I will say one thing for certain is this: Mississippi Valley State offense. Hey, listen. Total offense for Valley was 416 yards. When's the last time you see 416 yards in total offense come from Mississippi Valley State? So you got to give them a salute to that as well. They had 1 turnover in the game, which was a fumble. They did fumble the ball 3 times in the game. They lost 1. Crazy thing is, years previous, we always would see a bunch of penalties going on out there on the field. In this game, they had 5 penalties for 40 yards. Texas Southern had 9 for 77. And like I stated before, you got to give it up to them for them going out there and putting on a show. They averaged 3.7 yards per carry. They rushed for 167 yards. They passed for 249 yards on completing 21 out of 32. So I got to salute them for the effort out there on the field and give them their props for that. Josh Brown for Mississippi Valley State. Like I stated before, he completed 20 out of 31 for 254 yards, 1 touchdown. KJ Cooper for Texas Southern University, he completed 13 out of 20 for 176. But with an Athenian Renfro rushed the ball 22 times for 95 yards, had 2 touchdowns, and KJ Cooper had 1 as well, which was the quarterback, had a rushing touchdown in the game. Look, I'm liking what I'm seeing with these teams because everybody's getting out here and they're competing. They're trying to put their best foot forward, letting everybody know that this ain't going to be no pushover game. And that leads me to the next game, which was the Alabama A&M versus Bethune-Cookman. As I stated before in the previous show, if you guys didn't check that game out, that was the game of the week. Unfortunately, no one got that score right once again. So, Coach, get the mosey on up out of this. I'm still waiting on the gentleman to give me send me an email from, was it week 2, who won the who guessed the correct score in the Jackson State game. I'm gonna call him out once again, probably in the next show, so that I can make sure that this young man gets back in contact with me, so I can go ahead and take care of his free lunch take care of his lunch that's on me. So you go ahead and enjoy yourself. I don't want nobody thinking like, hey man, Coach done welched on me, he didn't take care of me. Nah. We ain't doing that over here. I want to make sure I get to you what you deserve. So we're gonna go ahead and get that squared away. But Bethune-Cookman, listen, Cam Ransom on the day, he did have 2 interceptions in the game, and I like the young man's moxie. It was almost like he put the blinders on and he just drowned out all of the noise that was going on around him, in which he wasn't paying any attention to. He just went out there and did his daggone job, which was just go ball. Lead your team on to victory. Don't worry about the small stuff. Let's go ahead and just, do the things that we need to do to get Trump tight, and we come up out of this thing with a victory. So salute to Bethune-Cookman on that. But it wasn't that they got the win. It was the fact that Cam Ransom threw the ball 24 times, completed 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Now, listen, that defense over there for Bethune-Cookman, they were able to help their team get ahead in this game and play from ahead, which was something that I like to see, because last year, like I stated before, against Clark Atlanta, and I know Clark Atlanta, some folks say, well, man, that's Division II. Listen, when you line up against any opponent and they get out there on their field, if they can find a way to try to scratch your claw, get themselves back in the game, you're the one that got to figure out how you're going to keep them from taking it away from you. And this time, Bethune-Cookman, they dug in and they did exactly that. They fought back. They just didn't come out there, lay down and like, oh, man, it's hot out here. I'm tired. I don't really feel like doing much of that. Nah, it wasn't that type of game. They wasn't on that type of time. They got out there and bust through that thing and made it happen. Now, the one thing that I would say about Alabama A&M, because of the fact that they were behind, they threw the ball 40 times. That's not 41 times. That is not something that I've ever seen from a Coach Shade team ever. I mean, for when he was at Miles College, as well as when he was coaching over in high school, I don't recall any of those teams throwing 40 plus times in the game unless they were behind. And like I stated before, well, I didn't state it, but I stated now, Alabama A&M could not get that rushing attack going at all. They rushed the ball 32 times for 125 yards. And I mean, they were 3.9 average per carry, but yet and still they were not the run game was not being, the run game was not keeping the chains moving. It was, it's like they was getting behind on the chains. So it's like, give an inch, they give a yard. Take an inch, they give a yard. Take an inch, they give a yard. And I'm just like, man, y'all got to get some type of momentum going on with this thing. Find a way to get a groove so that y'all can go ahead and move this ball down the field, rushing the ball so that you can kind of wear that defense down. And it just didn't happen. But I will say this, Alabama A&M, they had, 2 receivers that had over 100 yards. Frank Pierre and Travonta Abner. Listen, them two is deadly out there on that field. If you're not gonna cover them jokers, they gonna carve you up. It's a couple of receivers that's in the SWAC this season that's putting on a show, and they letting folks know, hey, listen, y'all gonna have to talk about me. These 2 young men here, hey, look, Frank caught one. Frank Pierre caught one. He caught a dart, 72 yards, took that bad boy to the house. Gotta give him his props on that. For Bethune-Cookman, Javon Ross and Lorenzo Jenkins, those 2 were the 2 leading receivers for Bethune-Cookman. Ross had 5 catches for 108 yards, and you had Jenkins, he had 5 for 75 yards in the game. So I'm just looking at how these young men are out there, they're making things happen for their teams, and you got to give it up to them. But I got to say this, though. Bethune-Cookman, defensive backs. This Antoine Watts kid, he packing a wallop out there. I mean, hey, he listen, he's from Georgia. When that young man come up and hit you, he trying to knock your drawers down to your ankles. I'm just gonna tell it to you straight up and down. He trying to bust your head just straight up and down. I mean, hey, this kid was hitting folks like it was fire in a hole. And I got to get, like I said before, I told somebody this earlier today. I said I was looking at the length of the defensive backs for Bethune-Cookman. Lassiter is another one that's gonna come up and touch you. I mean, guys, I like what Coach Woody's putting together over there. I like the athletes that he got out there on the field. Remember, I did a show last year when I talked about Coach Woody is trying to recruit them athletes to build them teams like they had when they was over the MEAC and they was running roughside on folks. And they're trying to they're trying to get themselves back in that pocket. And slowly but surely, you can start to see that it's beginning to come together. So salute to Coach Woody on the W. But this next game, we're going to go ahead and get on. We're going to talk about this. Albany State versus Allen University. Look here, dog. Albany State, I don't know who pissed them off, but Albany State put up 57 points on them folks. And check this out. Albany State scored 14 unanswered. And you had Amari Stewart and Roderick McCrary. They got out there, scored the first 2 touchdowns for Albany State. Watching them play against FAMU, and I know y'all like, man, Coach, why you got to compare to FAMU, bro? You ain't got to do all that. Look, you lined it up against them, you played them. You got up out of there with an 8-point win. Them jokers came out there and played. Yes, they had FAMU boxed up in the first quarter. I think matter of fact, the first half, they was up 14-10. And then Coach made the change to and brought Jet in there, and it was a whole different offense that went on. And you know, Albany State had to get themselves together, finally get the ship going the right direction. But listen here, this week, oh no, they weren't playing that. They wasn't playing the radio with none of that. Them jokers out there, they getting safeties out there against against Allen University. I mean, they just doing all kind of crazy stuff. If I'm not mistaken, I think they had 2 safeties in the game. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, hey, please let me know I'm wrong. Leave comments down below and let your favorite coach know I was wrong. But looking at what these cats was out there doing, I'm just sitting there shaking my head like, wait a minute. They are really humming this thing right now. Can someone tell me, is there an Andrew Body sighting? Because Andrew Body is putting on a clinic right now. And guess what? There's some folks out there a little pissed off right now because the kid ain't threw an interception all season long. He just going ahead giving everybody that work. And I'm going to be honest with you. I got to be real. He didn't do all the heavy lifting this time. It was a conservative effort where you had the football team, well, not the football team, you had the running game actually got off and did something in this thing. And I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. Yeah, man, I'm like, rocked them to sleep, 42 points. I'm like, boy, this thing is ugly. Look here. FAMU jumped out 14-0 in the beginning of the game. I mean, 14-6 was the closest that it was for the first half. After that, it was the up and smoke tour. I mean, they just went on ahead and scored another 28 points. Just go ahead and get this thing up on out the way, and they cruised on the victory. 48-14. They, FAMU got one in the end. We had Miles Campbell. He rushed the ball and was able to score a touchdown late in the fourth quarter. But, I mean, for the most part, this game was over with. It looked like Alabama State is making sure everybody knows that they have the number one scoring offense in the SWAC right now. They number one scoring in the SWAC, and they number 2 in defense. So they trying to let everybody know, hey, y'all gonna pay us some damn attention. Y'all gonna talk about us a little bit more than what y'all doing, and y'all gonna cut out all this bull jive, and let's get to the daggone story of this thing. And I understand all of that because you know what? Like I stated before, them young men, they over there, they playing some damn good ball. Got to give them their props. Like I stated before, Body only threw, 18 passes in the game, completed 10, 106, 2 touchdowns. Jamari Holesclaw, young man, rushed the ball 22 times for $135. So, he got off of this thing. And it was kind of good to see Body only rush the ball 8 times for 40 yards. I kind of like that. But, he didn't really have to do much in this game. Because, I mean, he just didn't have to do much in this game. I'm trying to be, trying to be, I don't want to be, a little out of pocket because folks start getting upset. Coach, why you talking about us like that? We ain't gonna invite you to nothing, Coach, because you over here being mean towards us, bruh. This football, dog. This ain't we in the sandbox. This ain't hey who took my fruit roll-ups. This ain't who took my applesauce fruit cup. This ain't none of that. Listen, guys, when y'all strap up and hit this field on Saturday, y'all make sure y'all bring y'all A game. I love to see the competition part of this thing. When it get down to the fact that people just out there and they going through the motions, in this game, I'm going to be honest with you. I made a comment yesterday in the they was talking over in the Bethune-Cookman spaces. And I got over there and I made a comment talking about how me personally, Coach Walker, Tomorrow League Sports Network, I personally feel like looking at some of the body language of some of these folks out here, I feel like somebody's starting to lose the team. I'm just going to be honest with you. I could be wrong, and I don't have a problem with being wrong, but I don't need y'all to get upset and be mad because of my opinion. People have to understand, like, when you look at this thing organically and see exactly what's going on, you can look at the body language of the players out there on the field and understand exactly what's going on. These guys got to find a way to come together and get them a W. I ain't talking about no W against no daggone Division II team. I'm talking about a W against a W against a SWAC squad. Because there's nowhere in the world this team should look like this. And I'm gonna say something else too. Coach Willie Simmons ain't been gone but 2 seasons. Yeah, 2 seasons. There's nowhere in the world the athletes that he had there ain't there. Some of them ain't still there. If they are, why they ain't on the field doing some damage? Like I said, right now, this don't look like FAMU football. This don't look like FAMU football when y'all used to come to Atlanta and play Morris Brown. I'm going to keep it real with you on that one. And Willie Simmons wasn't there at that time. I've never seen no team look like this before. Not FAMU, no. So I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone because I don't want to get nobody. I don't need nobody draws to get tight on this thing. I'm just speaking what I'm seeing. Sometimes you got to speak to what you see, and people, sometimes you want to understand, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't want to hear, sometimes you do. Sometimes folks like, oh, you being a hater, you just want to dog us out. No, it's not about all that. We're talking about sports. We're talking about sports. It's no hard, ill feelings towards nobody. Like I said before, I try to keep this thing in the middle as much as possible. Now, I could go over here and talk about Alcorn State as far as like what the hell they got going on over there, because I'm like, you got a bunch of big guys out there, and some of them guys, they can't move. You got bigger, but you're not fast. It's like, what are we doing? Prairie View A&M, like not Prairie View, Arkansas Pine Bluff, they came out there, they gave y'all that work. They came out there and gave y'all that work. There's nowhere in the world that should have went down like that. Again, this is another team. This is another one of them teams that I'm looking at. I'm like, wait a minute. They don't look like an Alcorn State team. And I'm sorry. Maybe that's because of who used to be there, which is Coach Mack. There's no ill will towards the current head coach. I don't want nobody thinking like, oh man, you got a problem. No. We're talking about sports. You don't hear me sitting here driving in on nobody. I'm just simply saying that teams don't look like how they're supposed to look. They don't look the way that you would expect them to look. How I expect a FAMU team and an Alcorn State team to look, I expect to see y'all coming out there punching somebody in their damn mouth, letting them know, hey, listen, you gonna fight us for 4 quarters. And I'm looking at right now a lot of these some of these teams where they not, it's like, you look at body language of people, man, and when they out there on that field, them kids is out there on that field, and you can see like, hey, man, okay, you could have went ahead, gave me a little more effort and got that block. You could have did this. You could have did that. Just the little things. It makes you wonder. That's all Coach said. And we only a third way through the season. This is week 4. Week 5 with some other folks. Those that played week 0. But I ain't going to hold y'all up, guys. I ain't going to hold y'all up. I'm just, hey, Coach is talking right now. I'm just talking. Don't pay me no mind. I'm just talking. But the last game we're going to talk about, because I know I done held y'all long enough. Man, look here, dog. Southern, I thought y'all was going to do something, dog. I ain't going to cap you down. I'm not. Jackson State gave y'all some gifts. I mean, they can't bear gifts for y'all in this thing. I mean, Southern jumped out in this thing early, and I'm sitting there saying, I said, oh, it about to get ugly. It's about to get ugly. Southern about to go ahead and put that work in. And lo and behold, I said, shoot, daggone, who's that? Southern, not Southern, but Jack State messed up on special teams. Got good field position. I'm like, okay, these guys, they doing it too. You messed around, you got Holly. Holly broke one. I remember I kept saying, I'm like, if the defense don't hold them, they don't maintain them gaps, you don't have gap integrity, you're going to get your ass toe up. And guess what? Cut City. But I mean, you know, it happens to the best of them. It happens to the best of them. I can't trip on that. But I'll say that, you know, Coach Fred McNair, you called one hell of a game. I will say that. You call there's certain plays that you call at the right times that just hit. You and the other offensive coordinator, I got to give y'all your props. There's certain plays that y'all call at the right time that just hit. But Coach T.C. Taylor and the offensive coordinators over there at Jackson State, as well as the defensive coordinator had me a little befuddled. Because I was sitting there like, man, hey, look, they setting it up when they get ready to run that play where Holly just going to go ahead, he going to hit that gap, he going to go. And I was like, okay. And then Coach went ahead, he made the adjustments. Everybody's making adjustments. I guess that's what I wanted to say. Where's the freaking adjustments at? Because I really haven't seen a lot of teams make adjustments. It's just like, hey, we playing ball. Hey, we're going to come out here. We got our scripted plays. We're going to run these plays like such, and you're going to have to stop them. But, I mean, Jacoby Morgan played his behind off. The young man had completed 21 out of 31 for 337 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, guys, they balling out. Like I said, Trey Holly. Listen, I understand that a lot of teams have running back by committee. But when you got a cat that is, I would have liked to see Holly run that ball maybe 4 more times in the game, just to really see, you know, okay, he rushed the ball with 11 times for 147 yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 13.4 yards per carry. I wanted to see him get that thing at least 4 more times before the game got out of control, because you guys had, I mean, it's like you guys, when the game started getting out of control, y'all putting the ball in the quarterback's hand and y'all looking for him to make a play with that thing, and it just wasn't there. Jack State defensive backs, they went ahead, they tightened that thing down. They shut them down in the second half. They didn't allow them to score any more points after halftime. So they did their job. Salute to all of them. The front 7, they finally got after. They started getting back in the backfield, started disrupting stuff. So, and that's what you wanted to see. Both, like I said, both sides. Hey, we had a Kelby Gibbons sighting. Yes, we did. We had a Kelby Gibbons sighting. He got back there and created some havoc where, you know, his cohorts was able to get back there and get sacks in the game. I mean, those are the things that you want to see, you know, what's going on as far as, you know, your teammates. Hey, if I can't get to them, let me go ahead and get my other folks to them. You had Zach and Jerome. They got back there and got the sacks in the game. Why not? Why not? I mean, it just come a point in time where you got to understand exactly what's happening and you put it in perspective and let it rip. But, I mean, sometimes it's just looking at how some of this stuff went down. I'm just like, okay, I can't, you know, the penalties, the penalties, that's low-hanging fruit. I mean, I can gladly say, oh, you know, well, they had the penalties for, you know, blah, 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 blah. I mean, looking at these penalties, listen, both of y'all out of control with these penalties. 13 for 107, 13 for 111. That's crazy, guys. Y'all, Jack State, 107 yards on penalties. Southern University, 111 yards on penalties. You can't do that, man. You're not trying to win no game. You ain't going to do that. Y'all, hey, tighten that up, bro. The false starts. Hey, big fellas, I know when y'all getting them stands, y'all be wanting to hurry up and get up out that thing and explode and hit somebody. Sometimes you got to go ahead and say, look, man, the game on the line. I got to handle it. I got to sit here and do what I need to do. Focus. That's both teams. Y'all got to focus, man. But like I said, all in all, great game. Ahmad Miller definitely got off once again. Showstopper. That Joe came out there, let it rip like usual. 14 rushes for 101 yards. Travis Terrell had 11 for 51. He had 1 touchdown. Denario Davenport, Mr. Superman himself, over the top for the score. Boy, he had 8 rushes for 24 yards. He had 2 touchdown rushes. Hey, gotta salute those young men, as well as Nate Rembert had 5 receptions for 102 yards, 1 touchdown. Jamil Gardner had 7 for 96, and Janalen Dupree had 5 for 93. Excuse me, Janalen Dupree had 5 for 93, so and a touchdown. Look, guys, Jack State went out there. They did what they're supposed to do. I don't even want to talk about the Grambling game. Prairie View, I'm sorry, I ain't talking about the Grambling game. My apologies. I can't do it. But Prairie View and Alcorn State play this weekend. That's going to be a damn good game. I want to see who's going to get that one. And then you got, I think, University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. I think they play Texas Southern. Those going to be some great games. If I missed anybody, I do apologize. But like I said before, I'm waiting to see how all of this is going to turn out. Again, get ready for me to come back with the score predictions for the week on who gonna do what, how it's gonna go, and what we're gonna see. And we're gonna give you a little more, give you a couple more updates. So if there's any lingering injuries out there for you to go ahead and be aware of when it comes to your favorite team. But you know what, your favorite coach gonna go ahead. Look, you know what, your favorite coach gonna go ahead and get up on out of here. I done held you long enough. But until next time, be the one and lead.